What's up, guys? I'm Tim from Our Last Night, and we are going to be counting down our top 10 favorite holiday movies. My first pick would have to be The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. One, because it's kind of a morbid beginning to a movie where Tim Allen kills Santa Claus, but then just puts on his jacket and becomes Santa Claus, starts growing a beard, gaining weight, and has to take over all the responsibilities and acts like he's not stoked that he is now Santa Claus. I would be stoked if I could be Santa Claus. So that kind of bums me out about Tim Allen. And then I just remember specifically there's a part, I watched a lot of Home Improvement growing up, with my middle name being Allen, kind of Tim Allen myself. There's a reference to Home Improvement in the Santa Claus where he's walking through the toy store, shop, whatever, and he puts on a tool belt and he looks down and he shakes his head. He's like, tool belts aren't for me. Just like a little shot at Home Improvement. I always got a kick out of that.
My first choice is going to be a combo. It's going to be Frosty's Winter Wonderland and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. But like the claymation weird ones, I think they're kind of cool because they get more creepy as you get older. I don't really know many things. I feel like you're scared of like a lot of movies when you're younger and then you figure them out when you're older. I think those get creepier as you get older. That's pretty crazy, and I used to watch those, I feel like, with my family every year for Christmas, so shout out to those guys.
One of my favorites is Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation. I seem to watch it every Christmas with the fam, and it is just one of the most hearty, light/hysterical movies I think out there in regards to Christmas. I particularly love the part where the grandmother says grace. So like my grandmother, it brought her to tears crying when she first saw that because I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but she gets everyone around the table and she starts the Pledge of Allegiance. So it's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. My grandmother starts crying laughing. So love that part every time. We actually do that as Christmas thanks before we eat, is we usually go into a Pledge of Allegiance before we start laughing too hard and don't do it anymore. But yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. Also when the uncle starts emptying his septic tank in the sewer outside, when he's turning the lights on. There's just so many classic parts in that movie. I love it, absolutely love it. So it's super good. Make sure you check it out.
I would say by far my favorite Christmas movie is Elf. Honestly, because if you've seen it, you must agree with me. It's got to be one of the best. Will Ferrell is ridiculous in that movie. And yeah, I don't know, we've been watching it with our family probably every year since it came out. And it is just the most hysterical movie. It is ridiculous. And like I said, Will Ferrell is probably my favorite actor of all time. So that is another big reason.
My second choice is going to be The Muppets Christmas Carol. I just think I definitely watched that pretty much every year with my family growing up. And it's just really, I remember it being really, really emotional, even when I was a kid.
And then my other favorite would be The Polar Express. The first time I watched that was actually in school when I was in probably 6th grade. It's one of those movies that you just watch and you feel instantly warm inside. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those movies that you always remember from the first time that I saw it. It was one of my favorites, so yeah.
My second one is The Grinch. Now, I know there's the old cartoon version, and then there's the Jim Carrey version. I would have to go with the Jim Carrey version just because Jim Carrey is hilarious, and to this day, every time I watch that movie, I laugh my ass off. But I mean, it's one of those hopeful movies. You have a bummed out dude who hates everything about everything, and the power of love and positivity makes him change his mind and brings everyone together in the end. So I think it's a funny, good story. It's a nice, warm holiday movie.
And then my number 2, or my next favorite Christmas movie, is Home Alone, which is just such a classic. I've seen it, I think, more than any other movie. We quote it all day, every day in our van on tour, regardless if it's Christmas or not. So that is one of my favorite movies as well. Matt forgot to say that he likes Home Alone 3 better.
Shout out Home Alone 3.
I think that, yeah, I think he's a phony. He doesn't really know anything about Home Alone.